the main lesson, or whatever, I'm just talking today. This won't be video, whatever. I'll do that later. This video is about managing your emotions, disciplining yourself. You know, acting crazy and hurting people physically, mentally, like there's something not right there. Because whatever's hurting you inside, you shouldn't have to just like hurt someone else. Like you should be able to manage your emotions. And that is the main thing. Of course, I have a million comments, sorry. That is the main thing for people to be working on right now. And I've been telling people in readings, like, if we're not working on the inside right now in our brains, like, we can't expect to meet somebody and, like, unless they're at a certain level also, for things to be okay. Like, the communication has to be really great, but in order for people, unless for some reason they're automatically mature enough, emotionally mature enough, like me, I've been doing all this work since like high school, to be honest. I've been working on myself since high school. I was depressed those days, and then just things kept happening. Then not the house. Then I lost my parents. Then I had to travel through that in my brain of dealing with that grief. And then from there, I felt like I healed a lot. Like, I accepted my parents' death after 10 years. It took 10 years to, like, really not punish myself or feel terrible and alone. And then my house burnt down with all my pets, and that set me back really hard because I did all this spiritual work and all this just to have that happen. And, I didn't really understand that. There was a lot of spiritual bypassing, stuff like that. Yeah. And now that I worked with Tony Robbins during my era of not wanting to exist, and I still get in the mood where I'm like in the middle of things. Like, do I really want to go through all this and teach all this stuff of what I've been through? But I mean, the more I think about it, I do. But in order for people, like, to have a healthy relationship, you have to fix your brain. You have to fix your brain. You can't expect people to be certain ways. You have to understand that everybody is different. Really. And that's a problem, is we tend to fall in love with people, the image in their head of who they could be, not who they actually are. And I think that's a thing that we have to, like, look at more often. And, it's awesome when people actually work on their mental state and understand, hey, just so you know, I am a little bit of a narcissist and I'm working on it. Or, I'm going to try not to be violent and hurt you. Doesn't just work. Like, this is so much discipline of respect, having remorse for hurting people. I've been through a lot more than I kind of just was already in pain, so I didn't really allow myself to really see what I was going through. And it was a lot. It's not for the average person. But because I was already suffering, it didn't really matter. I had someone there, and that's all that I cared about, I guess. The name calling, all that wasn't like a thing. Like, it didn't bother me at all. I didn't care. Like, bro, what you're saying is even close to the shit that I have said to myself at some point or another. Or the fact that I didn't even want to be in existence for so long. So you think what you're saying to me is going to hurt me? I have been through the worst pain I possibly could be when my house burnt down with my pets. To be honest. Nothing could really beat that. I mean, maybe something could. I don't want to jinx it. But that was the worst pain I've ever been through. And I'm never going to get through that. It's just how it is. Life happened, and that it's just what happened. And I worked on my mental state. I understand myself like so much. You know, people can try to tell me, oh, you feel entitled. I'm like, I wish I had more confidence like that. I'm working on it. I really am. I'm trying.